Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, so forgot to plug my headset in. The speakers anyway. So I'm just fixing that and full screen that. Alright, so I also need to start up. Alright, need to double check the let's see. Looks like it's working. Alright, comments are working, so that's good. I probably don't need to check it. I mean, I've checked it like 4 times, but sometimes I don't ever get any comments. So so it's hard to tell if it's actually working. So after I jumped off last night, I realized that the purple circuit, which is to go down, wouldn't work, and this circuit was unnecessarily just going all over the place. I had it like going into here, and also this redstone piston being on the side here just wouldn't work, especially if I'm trying to do a line down. You know, there's no way I could get it to work. So anyway, so I did mess with it for a while. There's some bugs, and then I did figure out a nice way to get this to work by using signal strength. So to show you guys what I mean, so we needed 2 timings, right? So that I could ride this elevator up to the top floor, we needed 2 timings, and the only way to get that is by having a pulse extender, but only when we go down. When we go up, we don't want it, but we need it when it's on the off position. So what I did was I made it so when you hit it down, the signal strength gets boosted from right here. So it's around 15 to right here. So yeah, it will only work if you hit the button. So I'm using the same line to get 2 separate powers. So it worked out good. I don't really like it. It's a little wide. It's a little big. I wish I could have it underneath here. It's possible to get it to work, but then it would be invading on how it looks. Like this is already going to affect how it looks. So I might have to do something different. Yeah, just might have to do something different there. I don't really like how big this got either, but there's really nothing I can do about it. So instant extension now works, and so we could just basically give it a little try now. There we go. So it opens up, and so we can then. I don't know. I haven't got this to work right yet, so I'm not going to take it down. Yeah. Let's go ahead and try it. So hit this. I should try this in survival to see exactly how it works. Um, Alright. / game mode. just to see how it works. Okay, so we do not have to hit what floor we want to go up to. It's just going to open up automatically. All the doors should be that way, except this one, or any others that we add in between the top and bottom, just to make it simpler. So we come up over here, and we hit the up button. Come on in. We can take it up to the top. That's good. And then we can go ahead and go down to the second floor. No fall damage. There we go. Seems decent to me. There is one issue with it. And I'm going to go ahead and just go back into game mode. There is one issue that I discovered, and it's going to be kind of different without having a whole nother button here. So I'll show you guys what I mean. So let's say that you have somebody playing with you, and you put this on a slower speed so that it works with anybody, even on laggy servers, and they just happen to go. Now there is a fix for this, and the fix would be to always have this elevator in the extended position. The problem with that is if somebody doesn't get out of the elevator, you know, I'll show you what I mean. So if somebody goes to this floor, if somebody comes to this floor and you try to call the elevator up here, you have to do something pretty crazy to set it. You have to like, you can't send the elevator down. See? If you do that, it just resets the elevator, and then it comes back up to you, right? Which is pretty horrible if you think about that, that it has to do that. I don't like it. So to show you another thing, say somebody comes here and they're like, oh, and they can't tell that the elevator where it is, they're going to automatically want to hit the button, which you know, you're going to need to know where the elevator is. Now I can make an indicator light, you know, on each floor, or at least on the floors that you need to know. But I think if you're making it out of glass, you could probably just look in here, and it should be fine. So yeah, it's one of the issues is that when it's down there, you can't really call it up to you. Not from this anyway. It'll open up the elevator and everything. You'll see, watch. It will basically just it doesn't reset this floor here. And that's actually what we need to have happen is we need to basically have, when you hit this button here, like say you're like, oh, you know what, I need to go down to that floor, or I need the elevator to come up to me. You need to be able to just, you know, because you're going to want to hit the up button. The up button is going to send power through the instant extension circuit all the way down, shutting off this device, shutting off the T flip-flop, and then it's going to go all the way down and reset itself. And if you just happen to hit this floor, it's going to also make a stop on that floor when you don't expect it. To give you guys an example, I thought about this, like, you would definitely need to know how to, I mean, if you could make this elevator, then you would have to know how to do this, because you aren't going to be able to see where the elevator is. You aren't going to know that it's on the second floor. So most people are going to go, I want to go, I need the elevator. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that a normal person is just basically going to hit the up button. And what's going to happen is they're going to get in there, and then they're going to fall to their death in survival. So I need to figure out a way to basically, when you hit the up button, when the elevator's on that second floor, we just needed to reset the floor. All we needed to do is turn this off here. That's all we need. We needed to just turn that off. So when you hit all this, when you hit this circuit, and it does an instant extension, you know, we would need the instant extension to be off, which would kind of defeat it. So the other thing would be the indicator system. If there was an indicator system, if we had an indicator light system, which I'm going to tell you right now would make it so laggy that you would never want to make it past 3 floors, just because of how laggy it would be. If you have an indicator system, so like if it says, oh, floor 2 is active, yeah, floor 2 is active, then you'd know that you have to do something special to do this. The best thing you could do would be to just hit the down button, which will reset the entire elevator, right? And then you could call it up to you, which I would say would probably be the best solution, is to just basically know that you have to reset it if it stopped on the second floor. But how do you know if it stopped on a floor before you? One way you would know is if somebody's trolling you. Having an indicator system, basically the indicator power system, if we wanted one, we could basically have it come here. We could have it come off that white block. Now I've been thinking to make this easier for, to make this easier for people to build it. It's not as complicated as some of my other elevators. It's really not. It's just a lot of repeaters. It looks complex, but it's really not. It's got a T flip-flop for each floor to tell it when to stop on the floor. And that's what basically separates the elevator. This, I've discovered, does not need the extra piston that used to be here. There used to be a piston here to make sure it won't pulse up and down. But if you have the timings right, it's okay. Yeah, I jumped on the Xbox version last night, and I noticed that my multiple floor elevator no longer works on the Xbox. And yeah, it requires a heavy duty patch now. The biggest problem is I don't have my controller anymore, but I can stream. I'm probably going to do an Xbox 360 stream to show people. I don't know if if anybody even has my elevator. Most people, when something stops working, they just get mad and blow it up with TNT because they don't realize that it's fixable. Everything's fixable. There's a reason why this elevator is so massive. Believe me, if we were just going for a simple elevator that you go up and down, all you'd need is this red circuit. That's it. You know, and you could ride it up and down, and that would be all you would need. When you ride it up and then jump off the elevator into a pool of water, and you'd be fine. Or you could have a pool of water on each floor to go down with. You don't need pistons to do it. So I think now that we have most of the bugs out, like I said, I would really like to change this. Like, how does one reset? How does one reset this? If it's active and you're and you happen to come up to the 3rd floor, I mean, it's only 5 blocks up above this. How do you get the elevator to come up to you? If I hook anything up to it, it would have to be a separate button. It cannot be the same button, because I could steal the power off of here and reset it, but it would reset it every time. That would mean the elevator would stop every other. Hey, what's up, Watermark? So it would reset the elevator every time. So I think just simply having a thing here that tells somebody what they need to do, because there's a couple ways you can do this. One, you could basically, if you don't want this elevator to go all the way down, you could basically hit this to activate the down circuit, right? So you hit the third floor, it activates the down circuit, then you call it down to you instead of up to you, and it will come up to you. The problem is that it resets the elevator too. So yeah, it would require some timing changes there. And then you could go, of course, you could just call it up to you instantly. Right? So that would be one way to reset it. Right? The second way to reset it this elevator would be, most people I think would say, well, the elevator's not here, so I'm just going to call it to me. They're going to want to hit this, which is dangerous because it's not actually up. You know? It's not actually up. The reason why is the elevator is already on, and so this is going to send a signal down this circuit, which is then going to go down here, and it's going to instantly extend it, turning this off. It's turning it on the off position. So yeah, that's the most common that I think it would be dangerous, would be that people would do that. So I kind of wish, I wish that I had a, when it comes up to the top, I wish I had something that would prevent it from opening the doors so that people wouldn't go in there. Because, I mean, this would be the best way to kill somebody, honestly. I'll show you what I mean. You could really troll somebody. You could be like, oh, hey, yeah, just call it up to you. Yeah, just call it up to you. And they go, oh, okay. Make sure you get in the elevator real quick. Alright, I'm in the elevator. Hey, what's that noise? Oh, oof. So, on one hand, I mean, I guess you could troll somebody. But yeah. I would think that, simply, if I stated in it that, you know, you have to, like, this is something that has to be watched out for. One of the biggest issues that you run into with this is tileability. So that's the next step here, is to make this elevator one more floor tall, which I've already started on. As you guys can see, I've already added on a lot of extra stuff that we don't need, but we should do it to see how far we can go up. And then we probably want to do the same here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. Let me go ahead and turn on my my rapid fire here. We are not going to need that. Probably be the tutorial. Okay. Oh yeah, we don't actually need any of this, do we? we're gonna actually need that. Yeah. Alright, let's get rid of some of this garbage. Alright, I just need to hit F9. So F9 got rid of that. So yeah, we definitely will recreate it. We'll recreate the elevator. I do believe that that's all been changed. Yeah, I made it all 2, 4, 5. So I need to get rid of this too. The proof of concept. The proof of concept definitely works, and we definitely have something functioning. Will it last? Will it last a while? I doubt it. You know what I mean, like with the way that they upstate stuff. Like I said, when I was actually checking this stuff. On the Xbox, almost everything. There's only a couple of elevators that worked, which was exactly what I thought was going to happen, was that eventually the T flip-flop monostables were going to be screwed up, but they don't work at all on the, you know, village, pillage. They don't work at all on that. Okay, so we don't need any of that. Okay. I also think that this is the white circuit, which should be probably pink. There's a couple of other things we could do. Yeah, there's a couple of other things we could do. Yeah, this isn't hooked up to anything. I just put it here for the sake of making it look cool, honestly. Just to keep it looking the same. So let's go ahead and add on another floor, and we can hook up the rest of the wiring, which we're not going to need, honestly. You don't have to hook up, like, honestly, it's just going to stop. It's going to be something where we fool people, where we go, oh, okay, I'm going to go up to a magenta floor. You're going to hit it. It's not going to be attached to anything. And you're going to go up to the magenta floor. Now, if the magenta floor is one of these floors, then yeah, you're gonna need it to be hooked up. It's just the bottom and the top floor are not going to be hooked up to anything, so these white buttons technically don't need to be here. But it gets confusing. It gets confusing for people when they go, okay, this is white floor and so on. So what we're going to go ahead and do real quick is we're just going to mark these floors. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just do a slow reset on this elevator. So we're going to go ahead and just you don't actually even need this hooked up. I probably should unhook it, but I did think that it might serve some sort of purpose in the future. But let's see here. So if we're doing this, we actually aren't going to need that. So white floor, and I think that this is probably the best way to do the white floor, like this. Make it see-through, and then we're going to want orange floor. I'm going to go ahead and just do this. It's just easier. And then we just need to replace this stuff and add on a little bit. Make it the same width. Let's go ahead and do it again here. Yeah, you shouldn't, you aren't going to see any of this stuff in the future. And then this has to be a stone. Yeah. It doesn't have to be. I mean, honestly, it doesn't have to be. But I'm going to actually see. It shouldn't actually update nothing. Oh, yeah, that's why. It's because this has to be a stone, so it does have to be that way. But we can use glass for right now. We could use glass. Damn it. Yeah, we could use glass right now. So something like that. I could also leave it glass and just make this the floor color. That might actually, look better because then you'll be able to see through. But I mean, I don't intend on this elevator just being a glass elevator. It's way too easy to pickaxe something and fall through the floor. But for right now, we're not decorating it. We want to keep it as open as possible so that we can see everything without a wall being there. When I decorate this elevator, I'm literally just going to add a wall here and maybe decorate up the side of this and to make the floors, So, what's the next color in the spectrum here? So we got white, orange. So we're going to have light blue is going to be our next. Light blue is going to be our next color. So we're going to need to add on the light blue floor. Now, it being tileable is most likely going to be very difficult to tile this. And what I mean by that is to put in a 6-block space to put all of this purple circuit, all of this stuff right here. That's why I put this here to give me an idea, because you don't actually need it, not for the first floor. You don't actually need it. I mean, if you take a look, this as actually for the second floor. So this one is going to be for the actual third floor, and then the next one will be for the top floor, which might sound confusing. How are you going to wire the floor buttons? Basically, I'm going to use a torch tower. I'm going to use some sort of a torch tower system here, where we have a torch on a torch, like that. That'll be to send the signal up, and then I'm going to change this to be a piston system. I was going to use comparators, or sorry, observer blocks, but the problem with the observer block, the problem with the observer block, let me just get some coffee real quick. The problem with the observer block is that it sends 2 pulses, so it's kind of, it works great if it's on an on and off position and you need a pulse on the end and the beginning of when you turn it off. But we're not doing that, right? So that's why I need the second floor, because right now this is the only wiring you need. So I'll show you those. So say we want to activate floor 2, right? We just need to get a signal to here. It's pretty simple. We just need to get a signal to there. But we need to bypass. We need to bypass this piston. We don't want this piston activating instant extension. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up having something coming into here, which is going to make this one wider. I'll find a way to do it easy. But from right now, it looks to me like it's going to be something like this, the wiring. Yeah, because we cannot use this area. It cannot be powered. One option I could do would be to basically have this power into a repeater, which would power this and that, and then when you send power into here, you know, it wouldn't touch it. But we don't want to do that. We want it to just be simple. So for right now, I'm just going to add this line in to activate the floor that we want. Because you don't want to hit the floor and have the elevator go up. I'll show you what I mean. So if you want to stop on this floor on the way up, it's going to need a signal going into that block. Now, my original idea was to send up a torch tower in between here, have it come up and power this purple circuit right here. Just power this block and just use the same circuit. But it's already too compact, if you ask me. There are huge spaces. Like, I'll just tell you right now, like, this sounds horrible, but I could technically bring all of this in by one. But if we do that, it's going to be impossible to do a tutorial on. I'll just tell you that right now. So for right now, we're just going to do this. And it's a super simple thing. We just basically do this. We do this. We don't even need it to be up that high. We just need to find where the power is. So the power is off there. Actually, let's go ahead and yeah, just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so that'll work. So for right now, this is all you would need. Honestly, something similar to this. We can do other stuff as well. We could also use a wiring system that uses the observer block to do it. So that would be basically if you want to stop on this floor. And then of course it'll be the same with this next floor. We do the same and we have it go up to the next floor. Right? It looks like it's going to stop about right there. So that one will activate the light blue floor. And it just keeps going from there. Okay, so we have in between each floor, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we want to basically do that here. We want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, and we want to okay, there's our next floor. Like so. And we would want it to have, we want to have this there, like that, and have some pistons going like this. Yeah, like that. Have some more blocks there like so. And we can go ahead and actually just get rid of the glass because we have plenty of it. Then we're going to want the gray blocks here. They're technically black, and then we'll need white, orange. Yeah, we're definitely going to make this better, believe me. We're going to do something. I'm actually thinking about, like I said, just separating these. Just separating them. One of the things that can be done as well is to basically just move this piston. That's why originally I had it only hooked up here. But you run into too many wiring issues, so it has to be there. So yeah, but I do want to keep the wiring within this. But for right now, just to prove the concept of it, we're just gonna go ahead and go kind of far out, far out. So so yeah, let's go ahead and get our buttons on here. We're gonna need a piston with a redstone block, and then we're gonna need green here. We're gonna need a repeater, be on 4, and then this one should be on 3. And that is going to go into our red block here, like that. And then we're going to have our piston with a block of redstone on it, like so. And then we need redstone. I'm going to go ahead and change it to pink, like that. And we need 3 repeaters on full delay, like so. Going to go ahead and need hoppers for our T flip-flop. Like that. Two, 3, and then we want it to do a step pattern like so. With that on it, this here. That to boost the signal. And then we will also need a piston right here. Go ahead and use red for that. Like so. There we go. Then we're going to need green and red. Let's go ahead and finish this red circuit since we're here. The orange circuit that's powering right next to it, we're going to get rid of that here because we'll be using the same technique as the one below it. I'm thinking we should go ahead and bring it up. We'll just bring it all the way up to the top, like this. I think that will be good. We'll cut off whatever we don't need. Okay, so this one needs one there. Then we can go ahead and just yeah, this one will need this torch system active. Yeah, it'll need that torch system active. And then we will also need this to be connected. I forget. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. Okay. And then we will need block here. Like that. There we go. So that should automatically open up that floor for us once it's active. Yeah. Okay, so next thing would be, I think, pistons. And we're going to want to have come up to at least there. And we'll want to do this. 1, 2. Alright, we can go ahead and put that wall back. And we're going to want to do that. Actually, we're going to want to do this. There we go. Should be right. Doesn't redstone automatically connect to pistons in this update? If you're talking about like, yeah, like that, it does not. If you're talking about it's sitting on top of it, it breaks once it's been active. So you can get a one-time use out of it, but you cannot have it on top of a piston because it breaks it when it extends. So I don't know where you got that from. Doesn't redstone automatically connect to pistons in the update? Most of the time when I have a yeah, so like I said, if you were to put redstone on top of it, when this activates, it's just gonna break it. So it always has to be focused into it. So, but even if it did automatically connect to them, what we actually need, honestly, what's actually needed, is to have blocks that do specific stuff instead of having the observer block. We need an actual T flip-flop block. So that basically means something that when it gets turned on, it basically turns on, and then when you hit the button again, it turns off. You need just a block that does that, and then you need another one that basically will give a falling edge, and a non-falling edge monostable, which you can use a piston right now, but it would be much easier if you just had specific blocks to do that, because every single power supply that you need, it needs this is the smallest one. Before I had to make one, and it was actually 4x4, which was ridiculous if you think about that, how big that is. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish this. I think we need to get, excuse me, dang. I think we need to get this gray circuit in before we do anything else. And it's going to be one block up, like that. Yeah, I don't think I need these. Oh, it needs to come up there, huh? So right here it needs to be up one. I wonder why is it? Oh, it's actually so it reaches it. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, this oh yeah, when it's extended it will be, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and get our green circuit too. These can be really difficult to do. I'm pretty sure that it won't need to be that high. Oops. Here and here, and then here and there. Okay. ahead and add 2 ticks on these. That one will not need 2 ticks. Okay, so now we need that going in there, the repeater on it, and then we're going to need to do that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and torch this up. There we go. Alright. So we got the red, green and red circuits. The rest of this we're going to leave out for now. And then I'm going to build a whole nother one after this, and then we're going to try and see if we can maybe just make the elevator one wider so that we can get a separated signal to where well, it's like this. It's kind of like I can already see a place where we can kind of change things. We could basically have something here disconnect this redstone, right? Disconnect it. And then have the power come in here, right? Instead. But we would lose one repeater on here. Now I could obviously add the repeater delay here. So we should still have the same time, and then we could basically get in we could get in another power source to this blue line. It does look like it would work. It's something I'll mess with here in a little bit. I'm actually, just to remind myself, I'm going to go ahead and use a yellow block, something that's really bright, and it'll be I'll just basically disconnect it for right now. But it's definitely something I could do, is I could basically just replace that like this and put a block there, put this repeater on 4, and it should work exactly the same as it's doing now. I'm going to say that most likely I'm going to have to do this and extend this circuit to do that. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. I might even need to move this button panel just a little bit, just one over, just to give us a little bit more room. I'm not really worried about it being super compact, because the more compact the redstone is, the worse it works, honestly. Especially pistons, registering whether you're there or not. My original elevator, it takes up so much space that it's almost scary at how horrific it is. Okay, so we do need to mark this location here. So below this piston, so from that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to get power from that. That doesn't seem right. Oh, yeah, it's because it should be up higher. Let me double check this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in the right spot. Need a repeater there. Like that. Is that what I got going? Yeah, I got that. Okay, and then another repeater. Oh yeah, I want to have that being a half slab for sure, or it's going to update. There we go. go. There's that. The rest of it won't matter. We can do that. This stuff is all just going to be simple. Same with this, kind of copy paste. So we'll only need that there, like that. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it because I might actually extend this. And then we're going to want to do the repeaters. That's not a repeater. Don't need that one. There we go. Those aren't supposed to be there. Yeah. So this circuit that we added on, basically all it does is keep the elevator at the same speed on the way down, which looks pretty nice, I think. Okay, that's pretty much as far as we need to go, which means we can kind of cut off this stuff. We don't need this. But I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it because it probably, like I said, I'll probably extend it. So. And we need redstone there. Double check the timings on these. Then we'll need a repeater on 2 ticks here. Like so. And then we can go ahead and just kind of cut. Well, actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it because there's no real reason to not have it there since I've already built it. Okay, yellow circuit. Make it. Oh, my aim is off. There you go. Like so. We won't need this being that high either. Yeah. There we go. that's going to come down and touch that, giving us an instant extension. Okay, and then for some reason I have that there, which we actually do not need. What the hell is that doing there for? This one makes sense because it will update. Will definitely update. Well, we're off here. We're off. We should be here. And that is why it's like that. Okay. Okay, now we need some wood. Actually, that's something's not right there. Yeah, that's not that's not right. Oh, no wonder I have it connected to the to the wrong thing. It's gonna go into that. Then this is gonna do this. Like so. I think we actually disconnected this line, so I don't actually need it. But it's okay. Yeah, and you can see that I actually had to run it a little bit past. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do that. There's that. So we'll have to rebuild this circuit over here, which we'll do here in a sec. I think I'm going to make it out of some better colors as well. So this way we can get the wiring, because you need at least 2 floors to hook the wiring up, and it needs to be tileable. Once we get it working, then I'm going to take this blue line and try and feed it directly into each floor here. We just need to separate it, you know? Like, something that could be done, honestly, would be, I want to actually check it, but would this actually update it? You know, if it was here, would it actually push the piston down? Yeah. Something as simple as that is all that we would need. We still need to get rid of one of these and put it on 4. I have this down here, so it should be okay for us. And then we can basically have a repeater here instead. So our light blue floor would plug into it right there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that for the concept, and we'll test it and see if it works. Yeah, it should work though. I got a feeling though it's not. I got a feeling that, yeah. I got a feeling that this is gonna like, cause this is gonna hit the button. This is gonna hit the button, and then we're also gonna get an input from here. Except for when we activate the floor, we don't want it to do an instant extension. Which, this one does an instant extension even when the green circuit is hit. But that's usually down by the time that that's being hit, so. But the floor would be in the down position, and you'd hit it from the bottom, and it would instantly extend it up to that floor, and you wouldn't be able to get into it. But this is actually I guess it's an okay concept. I mean, it will work. All right. Okay, so we need to finish the wiring up here. Okay, and the redstone goes underneath glass, so but we actually don't need it hooked up, and we don't even need these here. We're going to be getting the power off of another location. Okay, so all this is all hooked up. Let's get this going. Okay, so I don't know, let me see, what colors have I used as far as wool goes? I've used dark blue, I've used magenta, pink, yellow, light blue, purple, orange, red. I haven't used light gray. I haven't used the dark green wool, and I haven't used cyan. We could go cyan, I think. Go cyan. Well, so we'll make this with cyan. So it comes through here, and it's about that long. Like so. This goes up like that. And then, so that should be the block right here. That's going to be the input block. That we need to power to. So this is going to be like that. Redstone. And then we're going to need 2 blocks cut out. Redstone there. And then repeater. Like so. And then like that. Then we want a repeater here. Sticky piston. Like that. And then I'm going to keep this all the same color. There's our delay. Okay. And this little thing right here onto this yellow line is actually what we're looking to do here. So we have some blocks blocking things off here, so I may not be able to get that in there. Let's see here. So from the yellow line, and this purple circle, the way it's connected in, may prevent us, because we technically need to get the power from right here. That's where we actually need the power to get from. Let me go ahead and see here, because we can get the power off of other locations as well. Like we could, we disconnect this. So I believe when I hit the button, I was actually powering this redstone here. And then off that redstone, I had it connected in here, like so. Which would mean I need to... I'm gonna have to reroute this purple circuit to get it in there. Because it just needs to come to this, so... I wouldn't want to do it. But... I would technically have to come over the top of this. And just hope that this doesn't actually update. It shouldn't. It shouldn't update that. You know? I'll have to test it though real quick. Just to see if it is updatable. Ooh, it is. That's not good. But it could be the lever actually. Let me try the lever over here. Yeah, that's gonna update. So another choice I could do, which would basically defeat any block updates, would be to run repeaters. Now I wouldn't want it to be visible. You would see that this is being powered here with this repeater here. So I could, that's gonna cause a block update as well. Like if you touched it, it's gonna activate it. But I will say that there is one thing we can do. One thing that can be done is that at no point is that going to be on. Like, you're only going to be using that from the 3rd floor. So there's no way you're going to be hitting that unless you have 2 different people messing with it. And in that case, something's going to go wrong regardless. So, if you got 2 people messing with elevators. Okay, something's not right here. Because these should not be extended. Yeah, one side's extended, one side is not. We're getting redstone lock here? Oh, I didn't even finish it. This is what it looks like. Heh. Okay, that should fix it. Am I missing a torch? Doesn't look like it. But the power is only going up to there. Yeah, I must be missing a torch on the other side because this isn't flipped over right here. A torch or a repeater is facing the wrong direction. Okay, let's check these repeaters. Yeah, it starts right here. This is where it should be. This power should be off here. Got repeaters going the right direction. That repeater's going the right direction. So is that one. Alright. Oh wow, okay, we're getting we're getting power into this from here, it looks like. Yeah, we're getting power from somewhere. Very strange. I definitely missed something. Yeah, these ain't even powered. Alright, let's check this real quick. It is in there. So it's definitely doing what it's supposed to do. That's powering that, which is powering this, and then that's not powering anything. But we can still see that it's getting power. And it's not from anywhere other than right here. I see what's wrong. That repeater should be facing the other direction, and there should be a repeater here. And this repeater shouldn't even be here. Yeah. That one misplaced thing, and that's it. There we go. On something that doesn't even need to be on here. That's the funniest part. Okay, so we almost have our 4th floor. So we'll have 2 functioning floors that will need wiring, and then we can figure out the best method for that. And I'll end the live stream for today, and then I still am thinking about making this bigger. If you make it too compact, it just takes up too much. It's too much to render. And I think when things are far away from each other, I think that things work better. One of my biggest elevators I ever made worked the best as far as performance. I almost wish I could just run lines from another location where it's not rendering, so that it wouldn't have to render it visually. Or maybe just turn off light so that the light's not actually working. you know, just so it doesn't have to render it, like stuff like that. Anyway, back to what we're doing. So we were doing this, I think, and we had to rewire the purple circuit. But like I was saying, it's not going to ever, it's definitely could update in there. It could definitely update in there, but only if you were to touch the block. So as long as there's nothing near it, it should be okay like that. If we can tile this, if we can stack this floor on top of this one, then the 6 high spacing should work. I've actually tried to make it 5 floors, so there's only a 4 spacing in between, and it's just too small. Like if you have it that high, like if you have it this high right here, there's no way you could have the doors, and then what's the point of having glass? You know what I mean? So, alright, so let's go ahead and get this magenta circuit going. I do think that we have to have this green floor in first. Sorry, not the green, but the... just so we have something to build around. And then I needed to have 2 repeaters on delay here. 2 comparators giving us a pulse extender, super teeny. Okay, so now we need to build this. So the first thing to do is we need a purple block. We need to get the signal from there. That needs to go this way. Need a repeater, no delay, and then we're gonna need that like that. We're just gonna go connect into here. Then that's gonna go down. It's gonna go over by a 1 repeater on full delay into a T flip-flop. Which is then in turn going to power this, which will extend or not extend that redstone. And then we need to basically back power, send power back this way. So that it can go into that block. Okay, so powering here, then powering there. And that should be it. We actually do not need anything else on there. That's the purple circuit completed. Relatively easy, I think. I mean, it's pretty far away from everything. Getting our signals all properly. We got the extension there. We got that there. We do need, though... I actually just noticed this. That is a possible update, and so to cure that, we're going to go ahead and do it down here as well. Just in case, you know, we don't want that effect. It could affect something in the future. Yeah, so that should work. There we go. I think that's the floor wired. I think. Yeah. So now we need to figure out how to get this to work. Because when you hit the green floor, when you hit the down, you want this piston to be active. When you hit the red, you want this piston to be active. The question is, can it, will it work like this? Or is it going to screw shit up? Which I think it's gonna, because normally we bypass this. So we can't have that there. We have to have a repeater here. It has to be there. Or at least here. Which would mean that I could, this has already got a lot of delay on it, so it should be fine. This is going to come in, but it's only going to have two repeaters worth of delay, and we need 3. So what could be done would be, what we actually could do is we could move this piston over here. It's going to touch the purple circuit though. Let's not put it there. This would be our only real choice here, would be to we could actually just get that to be the same. We wouldn't need that. So when this comes in, it's going to power into this redstone. I can change this to a repeater, but then that won't get powered. That's kind of rough. This is kind of rough idea here, because if we did change this to a repeater, then this wouldn't do an instant extension. That's kind of rough. It's kind of rough because this is where we need the power to go to. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Not really. We do have room in here. I mean, if you look, there is some room. We could technically run it right here. So this wouldn't matter if it's connecting. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If we were running the power and we didn't want it to touch this, yeah, this is completely severed. There's no way you're getting anything in there. About the only thing I could do would be to get rid of that piston and get the power from somewhere else. Get the instant extension from somewhere else, but I like where it's at right now. Yeah. It's another place we could get it from, but it would mess with that circuit. So let's see, what can we do here? What can we do to make it so that this does not get active every time? I mean, technically we could do something like that. I think I actually already had it there, and I ran into some issues with it being there. Excuse me. If it was there, it wouldn't make a difference, because you would still have to go around. So that's probably our biggest problem is when we activate this floor, we actually do need to just activate this T flip-flop. That's all we need to activate. So I might have to do something here like that. It would be horrible. I think for right now, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and do that. We kind of have to. And I need to figure out how to wire up this floor the same way I did it here, which is pretty horrible. And you need the same thing here. You need to have it connected. Like this needs a repeater in it. And then I think we have a half slab there. I think that's what we did, right? Or was it like this? Let me go look. Okay, so we have a repeater on top of that piston. Let me in there before I forget. So we have that there. We have it like this. There's a repeater going in it right here. We have it severed. That's going into that. Doesn't need to be on a delay. And then there's the possibility of getting a update there. And then that line is definitely going to get connected by that. So that's our input right there. Okay. So this is going to get rough. This is why I wanted to have 2 floors, because this orange circuit needs to go from here as well. So if you want to stop on that floor, on orange floor, we're going to need to have it connect there and here. So the thing is, each floor, so if I wanted to activate that floor, it can't activate this floor at the same time. So if we want this floor, it has to be tileable here. So I'm actually thinking that might have to use something here. I could also use up the space, which would probably be the smartest way, but we also want to be able to get power into these areas here. Okay. So we need to send power from here to there. And it's got to be tileable. Now I'm thinking that we have all this space here. But I would like it to be... I'd actually like it to just be here. Now you would not need it to be hooked up here. This is an old method I used a long time ago for my first design, just because it's cheap. But what we can actually do is we can actually have redstone, right? And it powers this repeater, which then powers that repeater. So redstone here. Oh, that connected. We would not want that connecting. So this connects. This connects to that. That connects to this. Then we need one going that way. Then we need one going this way. Then we need one going that way. Then this way. We may not need all these, but it does work out almost perfect. Is it meant to be? Maybe. So you hit that and it will activate. It activates that floor. If you're here and you want to stop on that floor, it needs to also activate it, which would mean all we need to do is just add in a repeater. This may or may not work out for higher floors than what we have, but because the orange floor is right here. Orange floor, magenta floor, light blue floor, and then white doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so this definitely goes down here. It does look like when it gets powered, unless it's actually like that, it's going to power through here. So that's going to be something that's super difficult. Super difficult to do. I'm really starting to think that this piston's not the way to go, to have this piston go down here and touch that just to get an instant extension. I would have it underneath here, but it will, unfortunately, if it's there, it gets block updated. Yeah, it gets block updated. But it could work. We might have to move this over. Okay. Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, oh yeah, we could actually do this and it would work because this would power this redstone, which is right next to here, which would do that. But then how do you power this without activating this piston? We need a whole separate thing for that. So these will be some of the issues to fix. This whole area right here is supposed to be super easy and super easy to because it's so compact. Normally, and honestly, normally, I would just get like we're getting floor power from this T flip-flop. That's where we're getting our floor power. This power over here, which is taking up a ton of room. Like it really is. That yellow circuit in there is taking up a whole bunch of room. That is normally where this the purple circuit would be sitting. That's normally where it would be sitting. And obviously it's not, right? It's not sitting there. But we do have this, and it is hooked up. Obviously, right here is going to be a problem because of this. Yeah, in order to get that power in there, we're going to have to do something different. Yeah. So if I was, and I'm just saying if I was to put this here, and we'll just use an orange block, it would still come in there and it would give us the ability to power a block like that, and shouldn't interfere with the purple circuit. So we could technically have it there. The question would be, is it going to get block updated? One thing too that might actually help us here, if we do this, is that it shouldn't actually update this. We won't need that block anymore. And then we can connect the floor from the next floor, which would be tileable here, right next to it, which might actually have to do something like this. Might have to be away from this. So we definitely need a repeater there. And then block that off. And as long as the redstone is like that, then the wiring to that should be okay. And then of course, if it ever happens, I mean the first line obviously just connects right in, and then it just if we can do this every floor, which we should be able to, I'm going to actually go ahead and switch switch these. Switch these over here. It does bring up the issue of where do we activate the floor from, but so we kind of want to keep it the same, right? So that should definitely work. So if this block comes here, okay, that works. Okay, so the second floor. So if we want to stop on this floor from here, we need the same thing, except it has to come one block over. Otherwise it will connect. Now, fortunately for us, we only have to come to there. So we could literally just do this. We can go one there. Redstone. Repeater. And then that would just connect in. And then just to make it do that, get rid of this and that. Technically, we could just have a line of redstone. Like so. I would say that this would probably power it though. So we definitely want to have a repeater there. Okay. So that would work, and it actually could be tiled. I mean, we could, you know, it's what I planned on when I originally did this. It would never connect, even when we built this circuit in. So now it's just the up. Like we need the up floors to be connected. Right now we're using this, right? We're using this to do it. Yeah, we're basically we need to bypass all those timings. So if the floor is down, then instant extension can be activated. So if you're going to activate the floor to stop on it, has to be separate. So we have to have this circuit here. I will have to figure out a way to get it compact. What I might have to do is redesign all of this stuff. Like the green circuit is pretty flexible. Like we can actually have it come over here, get it right next to it, and it should be give us more space in here, right? This purple circuit, it just, you know, it's just doing a spiral. So yeah, we don't need to activate the top floor because it'll be automatic, but so we will need to go torch, torch, torch. And that's going to need to activate to here. So that works like that. And then we would need it to be active from here as well, which doesn't work for us. So we want to have, we want to do this. So you hit the button, and then this is always on the on position. Comes up here, and then actually, what? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, so we need it down here as well. Okay. Okay, so you hit that floor, purple floor, bloop. That activates that floor. You hit this one, it activates that one, and it's always on right now. So we can go ahead and do this, and then this floor does not need to activate the floor above it, so it does not need to be hooked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Just enough signal. So this should be able to be tested. We might run into some issues. But let's just see. I actually think I would like to have this a little taller. Don't know why it just looks funny. You know what it is? I think it's this. Yeah. It's that. Okay, so let's give this thing a testing. I'm going to just take a quick look. So this is active. This is not on for some reason. And these are. Oh, I never put those blocks back. Okay. There we go. And then we need one repeater here to prevent any other stuff going on. Okay. So the elevator is on the up position. So we got to give this a full test. I need to use the restroom though first. Alright. If somebody could, if somebody comes back asking, if you guys could just basically let them know that I'm going to go use the restroom real quick. So I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, let's see here. So the first test would be, why is this not active? That's the first test. Oh, wow. I totally forgot all of this stuff. See this? It's okay. There we go. Okay. So we need to get rid of these because we actually want the floor to be automatic. So that means that we need to just get the power to open up when the elevator's on the up position. So we could, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. We could use this location. So it's actually, I have it wrong. It should be the other way, like that. I do think we want delay on it. I mean, it's just temporary. We'll clean this up good. I need to check something real quick. Somebody put, oh damn, that's big, and it didn't show up on my, oh yeah, you must have just commented when I looked. Yeah, it's gotten pretty massive. I'll say that for sure. It looks big. It does. It looks humongous. But each thing you ask the elevator to do requires a circuit. It really does. Each thing. Now you can see that it's not compacted. It's not even smart designed. It's just me hooking wires up. For instance, I'm going to leave this one as is, and I'm going to rebuild this when I end this stream. Probably a little bit away. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to try and move everything over and just get it to be as clean as possible. I really don't think that this yellow line needs to be here. I think I could get the power. I think if I took this, right, and I moved it over here, and I added all the delay from here and used a different system here, I could get this to be just easier to do, right? And then if it's over here, we can get the power directly to that, and then the purple circuit will just be better. It'll all work. But for right now, for prototype's sake, this is the first version of it. It's the first time I've done doors on it. Not really. I actually have another elevator that has doors, but they only close right when you're taking off. These ones, you know, do the same thing, but better. So we're using the signal strength of 15 to get a weird circuit here. This is another thing I could do. Give us a demo. Yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do. You got to realize, though, that I just hooked up this top floor, so there could be all kinds of things wrong with it. So that's what we're going to check right now. The floor is on the up position. So let's go ahead and send it down. Okay, it's going down. There we go, goes down. Will it come up to us instantly? Instant extension test. Yeah, the elevator never went off. And I see why. There we go. So I did have it right the first time. That's silly. I did have it right the first time. Technically, you know what? Why am I making this complicated? Let me. There's no reason for that. Yeah, that's simple. Okay. So elevator doors open, and then say we want to go down to the purple floor. It is active. We can see the piston right there. And then we hit the down button and we go down. It goes down to that floor. Oh no, it did not stop. Okay. So we're missing some timings on it. Let me check timings on this one. We got no delay, no delay, no delay, no delay there. We have 4 delay there. I have 4 delay here. Is it possible? Oh, well, it could be the green circuit too. Let's check the green circuit. How much delay do we have on this green circuit? We have 3 repeaters delay. I don't think I have that up here. I do have the 3 repeaters delay. Okay, let's try it again, see if we can figure out what it is that's making it so it doesn't want to stop there. We also have a piston that's been left out, and that's why we actually need a button here. There we go. Yeah, I'll leave another one there just in case I ever hook that floor up. Okay, let's go ahead and we aren't writing it, so it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and call it back up to us. Let's try the purple floor. And this floor I need to mark it, so okay, so we're gonna try the orange floor. And then we wanna see if it comes down and stops on it. It did. So why did it not stop on the floor below? I must be missing something. Something's not right. I do have redstone in there. We've seen it activate, so it is possible that basically what's going on here this is powering into a repeater and it's also powering this, so it's sending a pretty big pulse extension going on there. This one is doing the same, it looks like. It's coming through here, it's powering that, and this is coming through. Oh, that's not supposed to be at that time. That one's good too. Okay, let's try it again. We'll figure out what's going on with it. Okay, so we want to, it did stop on that floor, so we want to just go ahead and send it down. Yeah, that's basically something I haven't fixed yet, which is to reset the elevator, it fully extends it and then drops suddenly. So I mean, technically you could get some trolls off of people. So this floor is still activated, so it did not unactivate itself. I need to check that. When it comes through here, that's the first thing that got shut off. Did this work though? Repeater here goes into here, which powers this. I don't actually need, I don't know why I have redstone there. You don't need redstone there if you have, yeah, okay. Check this one too. Don't need redstone there. Comes through. Yeah, it should have reset the floor, but it doesn't look like it did. No, I reset it. Oh no, it didn't. Here's the floor right here. Yeah, this floor did not get reset. So we'll do it from scratch again. Okay. So we also got that piston sticking out again. Is there anything else that could be causing that? Could, oh, here it is. I could see it right here. Look, timing problem. Bloop. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so we call it up to us. We instantly extend it to us. The elevator's up. It opens the doors. We say we want to go to the orange floor. And then we hit the down button. And we end up going to the orange floor instead. Okay, I'm going to hit the orange floor. Okay. So we extended the orange floor. The elevator is going to go down. This signal is going to come down through here and it's going to go through this. It's going to go through here It's going to basically go through here. It's going to reset this, retracting it, and then turning the floor off at the same time. I think that what we have here is that it's got too much delay, which we could actually fix by just going like this. Yeah, we can get a little bit of delay off of there. Let's do the same to the circuit below it. So we send it back through the block. We don't need that either. So this powers that, which then powers the redstone here. We don't need that block. Oh, and it got powered. Let's go ahead and let's see here. It has to be that way. Okay. I purposely moved this down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this here. And we're going to go ahead and do that like that. Adds a excuse me, adds a little bit more delay onto this. So we'll go ahead and set that on 3. Well, actually, that's not going to matter, honestly. And it wouldn't matter if we did this either. And we could technically do that as well. So I guess I could just leave it the same. So that's supposed to be on 4. Okay. And then what about this one? I think that the problem that we're running into with this is that it does need to be up higher. I think that's our biggest problem. I think that is that the signal needs to be up higher. That's going to power it though. Damn it. I guess we could try it. I mean, this is supposed to be on 4 delay, or sorry, it's supposed to have another repeater in here, which we could do. We could definitely put it back and just have another repeater on there. But let's give this a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on that. This is actually, this floor doesn't work, so let's leave it like that, and let's come down here to this one. You can see that I actually had to bring it up one so that it would power this repeater, but we're not going to be powering the redstone below, so we're definitely going to need the 2 repeaters there for sure. So we're missing though, we're missing 1 repeater here, so we know that this floor works. Let's see if it actually, because we've got it to stop on there before. Let's actually see. It did stop. It did activate the floor, but it didn't stop the elevator. And what that basically means is that there's too much delay in between here and here. Oh, and there's no redstone on this stopping the floor. That would be the biggest problem. I think we just solved our problem. Wow. Okay. I don't think anything we had there was wrong. It was all working. I just missed some redstone. It's okay. That's why we test this stuff, right? Let's go ahead and call it up to us. Hopefully all the floors are reset. If not, it won't ever get up to us. Should be reset. Okay, so I want to go to the floor below us. We go down, we stop on the floor below us, and now we've figured out what's wrong. Let's say we also want to stop on the orange floor. So from here we hit down. We stop on orange floor. And then from here we'll say we want to go back up. We go all the way up to the top. The door is open. I'm curious about fall damage now. So now that we have 2 floors to test, so I'm going to go ahead and activate both floors, and we're going to go ahead and go oops, did I messed that up. Okay. Alright, so we're going to call it up to us. You don't normally pick the floor where you go, but you can, because it will remember. So we're going to stop on the magenta floor, and then we're going to stop on the orange floor. Yeah. Okay, so we hit the down button, we jump on in here, and we take some fall damage. Okay, so let's try it again. I'm pretty sure that it's just the difference between riding on this piston and that piston, which does suck, because I could add a tick. I could add a tick onto this. Whoa. That was scary. I don't know why it did that. Okay, let's reset it. And we're going to go ahead and we want to test these two. We are taking fall damage, but I want to stop on... Actually, I want to go straight up first. Let's go straight up. Ouch. Okay, that was a little fast. I think I might need to add a little bit more delay on here. Let's go ahead and reset it. That shouldn't be happening. Something's hooked up wrong. I'll check it here in a second. Yeah, it keeps pushing me out. Alright. Dang it. Keep doing that because I'm used to having to type the whole thing in, and I should just type the whole thing in. Okay, so we're getting a problem with the extension here. It seems like I actually can see what it is that's could be causing the problem. We actually need to get the power. That's powering this, which is going in through there. This will give us one tick's difference, but in all reality, that shouldn't be a problem. It's definitely not this thing. Yeah, this thing should be getting us up there super fast. I'm gonna add a tick. Okay, so this thing should be set to 0. Let's see what happens when we hit the button here. That piston right there is hella delayed. Hell of delayed. It's like ridiculously delayed, actually. So we would need to get our power off of this. I think we could actually even do this. We could get power from here. Get rid of this. That should give us quite a... I don't know what changed on this, honestly. I don't know what changed it, because it was actually working perfectly before. And there's nothing that's powering it from up above. Yeah. I mean, technically I could go like that and it would give us 2 different times. Which would probably help with fall damage, but I think we should just leave it like that. And then, why is that there? Okay. Okay, so I don't know what the hell, because that I rode this morning and it worked fine. I don't know why all of a sudden. Maybe I need to save it. Okay. So let's go ahead and call it down to us. Now it's clocking. It went 1, 2. So I sent a signal through here. It activates this circuit on a delay. Then this circuit activates and sends time down here, which is then delayed again and then comes in here. So why is there 2 pulses getting into this? This isn't hooked up. The green circuit that's down here doesn't even need to be here. That's actually why? Really? When the hell did I put this here? It doesn't even make any sense, honestly. Seriously, like there's no reason to have any of this here. I just put it here so that we have a mock-up of what's on the top. And then I don't know why we're taking power back from this. Yeah. So if we just leave this disconnected, then this is going to shut off this each time you hit the button. And we won't be getting a huge pulse through the green circuit at the same time, even though it shouldn't make a difference, honestly. So let's see what happens when we hit it now. It's definitely lifts up quick, I'll tell you that. Lifts up quick. I don't think we need all this delay here. Yeah, this is the only thing activating it. And we have all this delay going through here. Oh, this activates the floor, which isn't even hooked up, so that doesn't matter. So the power comes through here and goes through this line and goes directly through, bypassing all of that stuff, and then it's on a 3 delay so that we can get into the elevator. That's correct. It's how it should be. Okay, none of this other stuff even needs to be here. Honestly, it doesn't even need to be here. It's just for, like I said, to keep things all looking the same. It's not necessary at all. Okay, so let's call it back to us again. So I think I might want to add more delay onto this. Yeah, that's actually really quick. I mean, it's so close to each other. It doesn't make any sense to me why it's so quick like that. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I could make it even faster. Honestly. But I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is. Because you're getting 4. You're getting a 4-tick delay. So it shouldn't affect it in any way. Yeah, it should not affect it. Yeah, but it seems like it's almost simultaneous. Yeah, those first 4 blocks are going off at the same exact time. They're like, whap! So what is causing it to be so fast? It shouldn't be that fast. That's what's, that's what's tripping me out here, is that it shouldn't be that fast at all. Yeah. This powers this at whatever time, and then it comes through here, and then this powers the upper circuit and the lower circuit, right? But you should literally be standing on that block. Like you should be, it should be that's how quick it should be. Yeah. This block should be the first thing up. Yeah, this was working completely normal yesterday, and then now all of a sudden it's giving me problems. It looks like it's firing all 4. It looks like it fires them all at the same time all the way up to here. Even though it's actually impossible because we have different timing delays here. One thing I can do is slow down the elevator to see what exactly is malfunctioning. I mean, it could be a timing thing, like I have some timing wrong somewhere, you know? I could have a timing wrong. Yeah, you can see that almost every single one on the bottom there takes off super quick. Watch what happens when we do this one. Well, that's not right. What the F? Okay, power is getting through this circuit, and it's traveling to the bottom. There's 2 pulses traveling down the elevator now, which was not happening a minute ago. I don't know what I changed. It could be getting updated by this line here. It could be updating the floor. Possible. Okay, let me see here. So if you call this, we're hitting this button. Okay, it's traveling across. It comes through here on a 12 tick delay. Then turns this on the on or off position, and then that determines on whether the floor. So right now it's active and it shouldn't be active. Is there any other floors that are active? So this would probably be the best test for it, would be to say, when we call this floor, it should automatically, so let me see. Yeah, instant extension. Then yeah, there's a double pulse when you hit down. Okay. Why is it getting a double pulse when you get down? This sends a signal on a delay. Okay, so we're missing, like, this is not going to work. It has to have that third repeater here. That's the only thing I changed that's messing stuff up. Yeah, it's the only thing I changed that's messing anything up. And it started with me messing around with this because something else was actually not hooked up. So we're going to go ahead and recreate what we had before, which was this. We had a repeater here, redstone, and a repeater. Actually, I think we had the repeater here. And then that goes down through there. And we're going to do the same to this one before I forget. This is going to go there. And then we can have the repeater here now. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that gives us the ability to have the two repeaters on the green circuit. So let's go ahead. It's what's got to be causing this, because we shouldn't have those there. Yeah, because there was the second repeater on here. And then we had these two to give us a extended pulse. And then we had a single repeater going into there. And that should work. Then we're going to check this one. This one should be fine. As you can see, it has the extra one. So that's what it is that it has to match the timing of up above as well. So make sure this one's okay. Okay, so we want to there we go. That should fix it. I don't know about this bottom floor though. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this bottom floor. Don't know why it was the way that it was. I don't even know why I even have it here, honestly. None of this needs to be here. Like, literally the only thing you need is just basically the delay. So this doesn't have that extra repeater, though. So let me go ahead and do this. This is going to be powered by that, and then we're going to basically have it come underneath. Alright, and then we want, well, that ain't gonna power nothing. We actually would want the repeater. Yeah, there's no reason to have this. It shouldn't even be here. None of this stuff. None of it needs to be here. Neither does this. It doesn't need to be there. But if it was gonna be here, We would want 12 ticks of delay on it. Okay, so now that that's not hooked up, this is going to extend. It's going to go through here. It's going to power through that block. Going to power through that block. Going to go through here. And then on a 3 ticks delay, and then it'll start it, and then it should go up. Okay. Alright, so let's see what happens now if we you can see how fast that retracted, so it should extend just as quick, but I want to see it. Yeah, it's doing the same thing. Just literally it fires like 10 pistons all at the same time. Doesn't make any sense. Watch this one. I hit that and it still sent a double pulse. After I hit up, it sent 2 pulses. 1 and then 2. What the fuck? This is pretty silly. That's all I can say. So we're getting different timings from here. It's all the same shit all the way down, and yet I'm getting a totally different timing from the bottom to the top. When this clicks over, we're getting 2 different timings. I'm gonna just see something. I'm gonna get this away just in case. Just gonna try and clean this up a bit. We got a comparator going in there, which powers the redstone, which turns that torch off, which then starts the cycle. We got this powering that almost instantly, and that should be on no delay. That powers the door. Then this comes through. It powers this repeater. I'm going to add that redstone there and see what happens. It's possible that something's powering something else. I mean, it's possible. I just don't see what would cause it to extend all of those pistons at one time from the bottom. I mean, this is usually the best area, so we definitely have some issues going on here. Yeah, I seen it extend it. I seen it extend it from the top there. And I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure that this popped up and caught it. So let's disable it. I'm pretty sure that's what's causing it. What's happening is we're getting 2 pulses because it's not supposed to, like, none of this is supposed to be here, honestly. This is actually only to extend it from the upper floor, but I actually am getting powered twice here because of this. Ah, wow, I just noticed it too. It has to. I changed this, but I didn't change that. Okay, wow. That's totally my fault right there. Look at that. When I changed it all of them except that, But you know, hey, it's a that's why we're designing an elevator, not we just made one that works perfect. You know, we have to get all the bugs out, see what we want. If we want doors, what's involved with having doors, how big is the circuit? Is it you know, like I said, there's so much stuff we could do to this. Like for instance, we could bring this circuit almost all the way over here and take up this space, which is what I used to do. Right now, there's enough space in here to actually have another circuit that helps this thing retract even faster. But why have it? Um, and then, yeah, so if we move this over, then that gives us more room for that. And then do we need this yellow circuit here? And then, yeah, if we take this here and we move it over here and put the delays on this side, it should make things a hell of a lot smaller. But yeah, I will restart a new build on this and we'll get everything going except for this wiring. You know, I might have to put it right next to it so that we can redesign this, because I want to have the same function and I don't want to have to run through the same problems again. But I definitely am not happy with its size for sure. I mean, that's just poor planning right there. Anyway, let's go ahead and try it now. Okay, so riding it all the way up, we come up to this floor. Now we're going to go ahead and ride it down. I will say that this could have used... Actually, you know what? I could just build it over here. I mean, we already have this here. Yeah, something I noticed recently is this does need a second tick on it. It really does. It needs a second tick. So something that I could do to get rid of that extra tick would be to do this. And although it's not as pretty, yeah, it's not as pretty. If I connect it in and then we get power from a different location, it will actually cause us to get... Because I noticed that one side is slight. It's like one tick off. It's one tick off when it goes down. So compared to my old elevator, when we do this and you look at the pistons, they actually go down at the same speed. I mean, it's a lot better than it used to be anyway. Yeah. So let's try this fully. Let's say I want to stop at all the floors. So let's just say I hit this, and this. You could hear the doors open. Man, there was a hell of a timing delay on that door opening. No wonder why there's a 4-tick delay on it. Yeah, there we go. That fixes it. Double check it. Okay, so before we try it in survival, and so it does need about 4 repeaters worth of delay before it goes off. It really would help it. So I'm going to go ahead and add in another repeater to see. Give me a little bit more time to get into the elevator. Okay. So we come here, we hit this, and we just nonchalantly come on in. Stop at the orange floor. We look around and give everybody the bird. We only have 3 ticks of delay on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and get closer. And we're going to go ahead and hit up. And we come up 6 blocks to the next floor, right? We do whatever we're going to do, and then we go ahead and hit up. And then this door should open by itself. Which says, I don't know what it says actually. Oh, it says that this redstone's missing. Okay, so now we want to ride it in survival. It does seem like it's working. Oops. Game mode survival. Okay. So we are on... So if you ride on this side of this piston, you will take fall damage. If you ride on this one, you don't. Which tells me that we need an extra tick on that. But that would make that purple circuit a little bit bigger. But we could do it, and I'm gonna do it. I'm thinking it's worth the extra block space. It'll give us more space for this stuff. So when I build this next one, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get everything one block further away, and then we'll keep the buttons where they are, so it'll give us that extra space. Okay, so we want to kind of test this. Let's go ahead and say we want to go down to this floor. Go down to this floor, and then I want to go to the orange floor. I'm going to get on the right side and see how we take fall damage. We didn't take fall damage. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and just take it all the way down. There we go. Alright, so now we want to go ahead and just ride it all the way up. Works. So let's go ahead and pick a random floor. Let's stop at orange. Alright, let's go ahead and go back up to the top. Yeah, we'll go back up to the top. We don't need to hit the top button because it's, yeah, there's no reason to do. Oh, wait a minute. Why is it connected to the purple circuit? I think I screwed that up. That's not right. Oh yeah, if I want to stop at the floor above us, we should go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's stop at the floor above us. Okay, so I want to stop at the purple floor. It's not even hooked up to nothing. I screwed up here. That's what it looks like. This is supposed to be over here. The purple, because we're on orange, right? And we want to go to purple. Purple's not hooked up correctly, but this one is. Yeah, see? I just have the circuits wired wrong. Oh well, we'll fix that here. So go ahead and hit the up button. Stop at the purple floor. Let's go ahead and go on up to the top. Door opens. Let's go ahead and go all the way down to the bottom. There we go. Seems like it works good to me. Obviously, you know, stuff happens though. Alright, so I don't know why on earth I hooked up this there. Yeah, because this technically, let me think this through here, because yeah, the way that it should be is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So orange circuit should only be able to be activated if you're going down. And then let's see. So I have this one hooked up to orange floor when it should actually be orange floor. Hey, what's up there, Liam? So we've got things a little bit. We've got things working better. Uh, I just did some shitty wiring. So orange floor is up above here. So we do need to have it. I think I'm gonna make it with orange. It's just better. We're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna do a repeater. And then this is going to want to come up here. Then we need to see. Okay, that's always powered. We could power this. It doesn't really matter. And we want to take that power. And so we can activate our floor from there. So if you're on the bottom floor and you want to stop on the floor above you, you hit the orange button and you stop at orange floor. White floor is the one that doesn't need to be hooked up. Okay, so now we need magenta, which I'm going to go magenta. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that out of there. We're going to want that to be, we need that to go up to this. Okay, and I should probably use magenta for this as well instead of purple. Okay, and then we get torches. And so that goes through and activates the magenta floor. Now we do need it to actually be activated from here as well. So this needs a circuit. So we're going to go ahead and use redstone. So what we're going to have to do here, we're going to have to make this a repeater. And then I'm going to have to do the same thing we got going here. We're going to have to put that there. Invert it. And then we'll have to do the same thing here. We'll have to invert. Actually, we could just do this. Oh, well, we can't actually do that. I need that. And then we could just invert it again. I mean, it's kind of a waste. I think we'd be better off just getting the power from here. Yeah, I think that's probably the best. Just put an amber gate like that. Amber gate. Here we go. So now, from the bottom floor and the second floor, you can activate the magenta floor. And so now we need to do the same with the light blue floor. And it does need to go up all the way. Honestly, because we have it automatically open, we could save ourselves the wiring. But just for so people can get an idea, we're going to go ahead and run it up anyway. Yeah, because the floor you're on, you'll never need to call. You'll only need to call it from a higher position. So if we come and look, you guys can see that orange circuit travels down twice, right? So you got the light, you got magenta floor that runs to here, and then you got orange floor that runs to orange floor, right? And then from the bottom, you got orange floor that runs to orange floor, and then you got this one that runs to that, and then this one, of course, would run to the next one. So just to, like I said, just to keep stuff honest here, I'm going to change this too because it should be tileable. So we have a repeater, go into here, which then powers that floor. Just get it away from the other circuitry, and then this would come up here, and we would want to invert it. Have a repeater. We want it to travel up again, and then we would want to invert it. I actually think it would be easier just to invert it first. I'm actually thinking if we just basically invert it right off the bat. So like this, for instance. Let's actually check it on one that we're not going to be using. So you power this, it powers that, and then by inverting this, we shouldn't have to invert any of them. They should all automatically be right. So that one would power that. Nope, we'd still need to invert it. Okay. Well, at least we can see. It couldn't be a worse floor spacing, honestly. Couldn't be a worse floor spacing if we tried. Okay, so that's that. So yeah, so next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding on a repeater onto this magenta circuit, which is going to make it one wider. It might be possible to figure out a way to use like a repeater lock, but I think that just making this, like if we have this red circuit over just one block, it's going to make this thing wider, but it's going to give us a lot more room for like the green circuit to be right up against the wall. Also for the opening the elevator. We can do a lot better than what we have here. This is just to get the basic concept down. And you can see that there's a lot of wasted space going on here. And I would say even some unnecessary circuits going on. So, it definitely seems like it works. I don't know why this floor is active. I think I must have activated it when I... Okay. So, I'd say this is, what? Mark 7? Mark 7? Technically, it'd be like Mark 9, because we did... we did like, the V7, which is too fast to work, honestly, even on PC. The more circuits you add to it, the laggier it gets. It does work though, but it is heavily dependent upon your computer and how good it is. So it's one of those things where it's like, this one could be slowed down to a really snail pace, honestly. You know, you can slow down this red circuit. Anyway, so let's see what we can do here. So I think we've tested everything. We really have. We've tested everything. Everything seems to work. We still have the issue of that if the floor is activated below you, if the floor has been activated below you, that you cannot go down. You literally just need to jump down to the floor, but you could reset it. And so I'm going to actually test that and see how that would happen. So let's say a troll came by. I mean, you can tell by looking at the elevator. If the doors are open, then you know that you know, that it's been activated. So there is an indicator, but you know, you'd have to have glass to see it. But anyway, so if from the bottom we're going to go ahead and activate so that we're going to activate orange and magenta. Orange and magenta floors are activated, and say we somehow ended up coming up this way and we want to call it to us. We hit instant extension. It's going to come up and then it's going to fall. So you definitely wouldn't want to go down, but it only reset that first floor. So then you'd want to hit it again. And that should reset that floor. Should have closed the door. Yeah, that door should be closed. Let's try calling it up to us again and see what happens. Okay, why didn't it reset the floor? Yeah, this floor should have got turned off. Okay, so let me try something else. Let me try turning off the orange floor. We'll close the door. Or why is it still open? We hit the button downward. Oh, you know what? That's why. Okay, let me undo that. Okay, so I might need to create a circuit. I think I'm gonna have to create a circuit that zeroes out all the floors. Just like another button that just resets every floor to 0. Of course, unless it's on. Which is actually relatively easy. You get a piston, and then that piston, it extends, allowing power in or not. So it can only be turned off when it's on, and then it retracts. So basically, it would be a circuit that would, turn every floor to not active. It could be something that I just hook up to the top floor as well, where only the top floor has access to that. Yeah, it would be like where you just basically, when you hit the top floor, we can get the power off of here, and that will activate both floors, for instance. Like we could do that. Yeah. Yeah, because that's probably the worst thing, is if somebody was to go... Yeah, and the other thing too is that because this floor is lower, it cannot be deactivated by the upper part of the floor. So the only way you can actually activate it would be to hit the down button. That should deactivate it. Yeah, it should deactivate it. And then it should come back up to you. Yeah, that's pretty complicated. That's kind of hard to remember. You guys don't even want to know why it's like that. Seriously. You guys don't even want to know why. So, let's say that those two floors are active, right? Those two floors are active, and I'm going to go ahead and reset it from down here. So it should be down low. Okay. So you say you're using glass, and you take a look and you can see the elevator's not up. So you go ahead and you go, okay, I'm just going to hit the green circuit, which basically works. It works on the first floor, and you see, oh shit, the elevator didn't come up, so you hit it again, which should clear the second floor. Yeah, clears the second floor, and then it should come up to you. If it doesn't come up to you, that's fine. Then you can use instant extension. That's an awful lot of work. if you just want to go down and those floors have been activated. Now I think something's activated that shouldn't be activated. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's not staying on the on position, which when you hit this button, it sends power down here to turn this on. Yeah, so that power powers this and then comes through there. Okay, so that floor is still active. Is that why it was messed up? It didn't actually deactivate it? That would explain why it didn't do that. So let me see if we're up here, if I hit the down button. It did not close the door. The door is still there. Yeah, it's not deactivating the floor. Why is it not deactivating it? This comes down, and it should send a signal. Oh, wow. I really would have to do that, huh? Yeah, the only way you can get that second floor to be deactivated would to be to actually hit whatever floor it is. So if it's orange, you'd want to hit orange and then hit the down, and then it would reset it. Holy Nikes. That's crazy. Why does it reset this floor then? Let me see. So you hit down, it goes down here, it comes through this. This will be disconnected or it'll be connected. If it's disconnected, the power will go into here. So the only way that you could it actually should reset itself from the bottom. So if I was to activate, if both these floors are active, when I hit down, it shouldn't turn it off. It should actually just stay up. But I do know this. So if you hit instant extension, it's going to turn the elevator off from the bottom. Right? It'll turn the elevator off from the bottom, which will drop these in position. So let's try that. So I hit instant extension. It resets the floor below. Right? If I hit instant extension here, it resets the floor below that one. How is it resetting the floor below itself? It's got to be this right here. Yeah, it's got to be this. That actually says that this is being updated. I bet you, yeah, because it shouldn't actually reset the floor. Yeah, it shouldn't reset the floor. I'm gonna just for the sake of it, to test it. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm pretty sure that that's what's going on here, is that it's just updating itself. Which, I mean, in all reality, it would be pretty cool. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like, it's like an unexpected, benefit. It's an unexpected benefit to it. So we have those rewired out of the way, so they're not going to get hit. So now let's activate these floors, because I'm going to say that, let's see. So this elevator should be reset. Let's go ahead and check. We've got no power on any of these here. There we go, no power. All of the instant extensions are up. And then we set these from here. And then I normally just hit this and it resets the floor below me. As you can see, it did not. All it did was turn the elevator off, and then it went down to the next floor. So it's almost like it jumped past that floor, but it's still active. Yeah. That's what should happen when you try and do this. The biggest problem with this is now that you've done this, the elevator's not going to come up to you at all. It's just going to go to... It'll go up to the top, and then when you get in it, you'll fall. But it should not go past here. It should not go past there. Which would mean the only way you could get the elevator to reset itself would be to hit these buttons. You'd have to activate both floors and hit the down, which will reset that floor, right? And then reset that floor, and then reset this, and it should come back up because I actually sent 2 pulses. But you'd have to know those floors were active. So for right now, I think that having these get activated is actually kind of like a plus. It's an unexpected, I'd say, bonus that we could technically... Do I have any extras in this thing? It's an unexpected bonus. I mean, in all reality, we shouldn't even try. We want it to be powered every time, because then we know it will be reset. But theoretically, it's not right. You know, it shouldn't be doing it. All it's doing is because it's on the on position, it recognizes automatically to shut it off. The problem is, when I instantly extend this elevator, I would have to have a piston that touched another piston and activated all of the gray circuits at once and cleared them out to 0. And they would only be active only when they're on active. So what we're basically saying here is if I, for instance, was to run a piston here, right, and then that piston, say, touched another piston, which, I mean, this would have to be away from everything, but if all these floors were active, which I'm going to go ahead and do, if all the floors in the elevator were active, right, if all of them were active, and then I sent a signal down that basically just powered these, it will reset each floor to 0. And if it's not powered, see, if it's not powered, it shouldn't do shit. So literally, we kind of accidentally found out how to reset this elevator with one click. So it's something we can do from the top floor. And we could avoid all of this. It just needs to be powering to that area. So I could steal the power off of this because it's the only one. It's kind of like this. Like, we know that that's going to get activated. So I'm thinking, just for right now, let's go ahead and do a... we'll do a piston system that just uses redstone blocks. And I will go ahead and make this even further away. We're going to need a repeater on it. I did want to see if we can do a clear reset from the top. Like if you hit it, you would want it to reset the floor if you're calling it to the top. So no matter who did it, I mean, the only place you're going to have this problem is from the top. And yeah, as you've seen, if you're on the second floor, it will actually activate the floor below it. So you can reset it from there. We might actually have to come up with a more permanent system that just like it's just a button you hit that just resets it. Which, like I said, this could be that if we wanted it to be. So when you hit this button, it is going to activate this. It's going to extend that piston. We would probably actually want to have this inverted. So what that would mean is we want a torch for the redstone, and we'd want this to always be extended. And then we'd want that to come down here. And then we'd want it to power that. So invert that. That doesn't work out very well, does it? This floor we don't have to worry about connecting to. We don't. Because it will automatically get, when we hit the instant extension, it's already going to do that. So let's take the power. Let's take the power from, I think this would extend that. So let's take the power from there. Whoa, we don't want that there. We'll take the power from here. So when this comes down, oh wait a minute, that's not the right place to get power from. So when this comes down here, it's going to power this block here. So that redstone powers that, which then in turn is going to power this piston that has a block of redstone on it. And then that will always be powered. And then that. So it should reset the floor, and of course we could extend it all the way down, but it only needs to be connected to the second floor. So let's check that. Okay. So we need to activate these floors first. Let's go ahead and send it down. Yeah, this actually is a pretty small, I'll say, reset that's just automatically accidentally built into it. So say you're up on the highest floor of the elevator and somebody comes in and pushes these buttons, let's just say, and you want the floors to be reset because you want it to come up to you the first time you hit this, and it extends and it stays extended. So it just literally resets the floor to 0 instantly. Before you even know that the floors were even screwed up to begin with. Then you basically hit it and go down to whatever floor you want to. Now there is one issue with this, I think, and that is if you're up here, you would always want the floors to be cleared below you. So what if you're on this floor? Oh, it won't activate it. Yeah. So if you're on this floor and somebody's activated the floor below you, so let me see. So if somebody's activated, if you're here, oh no, if you're here and the orange floor has been activated, and you're here, and you're like, oh, I want to call this up to me. It automatically resets it for you. There we go. That's a simple thing. It doesn't have to be pistons either. It does make this kind of big, but I mean, we could squeeze it in over here. I don't know if you see that or not. We could squeeze it in. Could squeeze it in here. The piston doesn't have to be where it's at. And it just resets it. So having a main Main reset is what we're actually looking for. Main reset. Simply just powering this line is enough. One of the things that worried me, and I mean, it sounds crazy because it's kind of scary, but is this. So what if the floor is up? Let me go ahead and just reset it. So in this particular case, what's going to end up happening is you're going to get two pulses that are at the same time. So they should be okay. So when you hit this, it should instantly extend. But it could extend and retract really fast. So that circuit actually does nothing. Because what it's actually going to be doing is it just resets this line. But when you do instant extension, it's actually going to make the instant extension even faster. It's actually something that probably should have been on here to begin with, honestly. Let's try that again. So just to show you guys, normally instant extension, like if we have this circuit on here, normally instant extension would basically start from the top and work its way down. But because we're sending an instant signal using a piston, because we're sending that instant signal down, basically it activates both floors, which causes instant extension to be even faster. To prove this, I actually want to see. Yeah, way faster. Way faster. So it's basically double time. Double time. So it's a faster, like if in a really tall elevator, it would actually be super beneficial. So I definitely want to keep this prototype. I definitely do. It does look like we got some block updates though. That's not good. I kind of had a feeling that at some point something's going to block update this. It's actually because this purple, that's there. So this shouldn't block update anymore. Okay. So if I wanted this to be smaller, I would have to move the wiring, the buttons away one. I would need extra space. I would need to, if I wanted to add this in here. But what I really want to do is I want to have access to this right here, this T flip-flop. I want to have access to it from, I want to have access to it from directly from the circuit. I don't want to have to wait. Like when we send this signal down, like I have to go around here and through Kansas to go through that, and then when we do this one, when we activate it from the top, it's going way around. It's okay though. I mean, honestly, it's not terrible. Okay. To be honest, we could run this right next to it. We actually could, or even underneath it here. Seriously, I just realized that. Like, it would require some repeaters, but in all reality, I mean, like, you need one repeater here. And then all of this can go. yeah, all that can go. Yeah, it's not too shabby. Let's see how long we've been going for. It actually says buffering here on my screen. Yeah, my stream was buffering. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, okay, so we're good. We've been going for 3 hours, which is crazy. But that is probably normal. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and just get a nice screenshot here. I'm tempted to do the build for it and cover up what needs to be covered up to see what it would look like as an elevator. But we're not really done yet, so... Okay, so I have that off. Okay, screenshot. Alright, so that's it for today. So, designing part 4. So we should have part 5 where we're going to actually compact this. We're gonna figure out how to compact it, how to make the lines simpler. We want power going directly in with no interference. We want the down circuit going directly in from the side with no interference, and we want the down circuit doing the same thing. We want them side by side so that they're right next to each other and compact. So I will start tonight probably or tomorrow morning before I stream and rebuild what we have here. Everything but we're gonna add a couple of different timing delays to it. We're gonna make the circuit a little bit bigger to give us more space. I'm probably gonna move the buttons away from each other a little bit. Yeah, and that should solve the problems. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.